Welcome back to the Home Centered Life podcast. So today we have a couple things that we're doing. One is we're doing our second ever mini-sode. It's been a minute since we've done this. I don't think we've done one together yet, so this will be fun. So that means it's just a shorter in time length. And then we're doing a fun... Oh, and we're in our new podcast work pod space.
Not fully set up, but...
Yeah, so here we are. Yeah, so you do your work calls in here, and then we're also going to be recording our podcast in here from now on, so we're excited to have you guys in this space. So today we're going to do something kind of fun that hopefully will be helpful, but we're going to do our top 5 foods that we eat every single day. And Michael and I have almost the same, but we couldn't agree on 1 or 2 things. So we're going to go number 5 to number 1, and then you'll see our lists are basically almost the same. So I want you to start, and then why are we doing this episode? Do you want to tell people, like, why specifically are we doing, like, hopefully to be helpful to people?
I feel like number 1, food can feel super confusing. It doesn't have to be, because number 2, I eat almost the exact same thing every single day, and most people eat mostly the same thing every day. And so it's not that complicated. And also, if you can find like 3, 4, 5 things that you really enjoy that are real or mostly real and mostly healthy, because again, people eat 80% the exact same thing every day.
Totally.
And I'm maybe more like 99% the same thing. But that's sort of on purpose, because it just takes the guesswork out of, like, I know this makes me feel amazing, so I eat it at this time, generally speaking. So the hope in sharing this is sort of to show people how simple it can be.
Yeah. That's good.
And how simple it's become for us. Like, it's really simple these days. And it has to be.
Yeah.
Kind of has to be.
It does. Yeah. We were even just, I feel like what you said is super true, and I think the differentiation comes in, like, what I make for dinner, but even those meals are pretty consistent. I feel like, I try to keep dinner super simple. Lunches are usually leftovers from dinner before, and then breakfast is basically always the same. And I know some people might see that and be like, well, that's really boring, but again, it's more about how it makes us feel every day. And then I think what I love what you said too is, like, if you focus on these 5 to 10 things that you're eating every single day that are really high quality, real ingredients, then kind of the last 20%, it's like you can kind of fill in the gaps and not be as, like, worried about it, So
to rabbit trail slightly, it's related, because the thought or the sort of assumption that you have to, like, invent a menu from scratch every single day. It's kind of like the same thing as people who think a consistent schedule is restrictive. It's the same sort of assumption. For one, just try it and you'll find that that's not actually true. The only people who think that consistent schedules are restrictive are people who don't have consistent schedules. They don't realize how freeing it is. And it's the same thing with food. People who think that freedom is eating whatever you want, different stuff every day, that's freedom. That's not freedom, because guaranteed it'll lead you to a bad spot. But also, it's exhausting to be like, oh, I had yogurt yesterday, I have to think of something totally different today to fill that. It's not restrictive. If anything, it's freeing, because again, it takes the guesswork out of, what do I want? Oh, I pretty much always have this at night. It takes the guesswork out of it, and I know how I feel afterwards. And if that's a positive thing, then it takes a lot of the cognitive load off of the process. So, as weird as it sounds, eating mostly the same thing every day is actually super freeing.
And maybe there are a few of you out there that are like, this sounds terrible, and maybe you love cooking and being creative, and that's wonderful. I don't feel like I'm that way. I know there's some people out there that just love making things up on the fly and mixing things in a bowl, calling it good. So,
but unless you are literally a full-time chef for a household, because the extreme that I'm sort of poking against is really 5 meals a day, totally different every single day, totally from scratch. Like, I don't, unless they're like a professional restaurateur, I'm not sure that's a person.
Yeah.
If that's you, that's great. But and you probably already know this. You're a small group of people. For most people, this will be freeing if you try it.
Yeah.
If you
Totally.
experiment with it, find the 3, 4, 5 things. Also, if you ever do keep a food journal or track things, like most people will find. I actually do just eat the same stuff every day. And that's the reality that a lot of people aren't aware of. Is like you already are eating most of the same thing every single day.
Totally.
So this is just sort of a slightly more intentional version than most people do.
For sure. Okay.
All right.
Let's go. Okay, so
Number 5.
Number 5 for you.
I put steel cut oats as my number 5, and because I eat them most every day. Right this second, we're out of steel cut oats. We're eating rolled oats. But that's part of the reason why I put steel cut oats, is because I know I feel way better if we do steel cut oats, especially if we soak them overnight, especially if we soak them in kefir, yada, yada, yada. But one of the things I do love about knowing these things is that when we run out or when we do deviate, I'm like, oh, I feel terrible. Oh, I feel better. I actually like deviating from this from time to time because we run out or because we just mix things up or we skip or whatever. I like deviating because it reminds me
That's good, yeah.
to come back to this because I feel so much better.
That's
Anyway,
good.
so number 5.
Yeah.
It's pretty much every day, but it's my number 5. It's not like my favorite thing on the planet, but it also
Love it.
does end up having a few other things in it.
That's true.
It's not literally just a bowl of
Yeah.
steel cut oats, but
And they're cooked too, so raw.
just raw steel cut oats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
right.
Okay. I'll be circling back to that in a second here. So my number 5 is grass-fed protein. So I'm encompassing that just in a kind of a broad sense. So some sort of grass-fed, hopefully grass-finished meat. I feel like I've been loving grass-fed beef. We're getting 3/4 of a cow in a few weeks, and so that's super exciting. So I feel like usually it's, like tonight we just had one of our chickens that we raised, just a whole chicken. So that's really freeing. And again, trying my best to get it grass-fed, grass-finished if possible. And one way to do that is if you can, buy in bulk, because that brings the cost per pound down. So we have a lot of chest freezers, not here in the RV right now, but chest freezers so that we can do that. Because then if we buy, grass-fed or, wild pork or whatever, and, or even like wild caught fish, you can buy it, find the sales. And,
Did you say wild pork just now?
yeah, what does that even mean? I said that, I was like, I'm just going to keep going. Thanks for calling that out. I don't know what I was thinking when I said that, but is that like a wild boar? I don't know. But anyway, grass-fed, grass-finished protein is mine. Okay, for number 5.
Well,
Okay.
so as a quick addition to that, buying cows in bulk or buying beef in bulk can sound super intimidating. One thing we've learned is we just really like ground beef.
Yeah.
And the first couple times we did it, we felt tremendous pressure to be like, oh, how many fancy cuts can we get? This, that, the other. Pretty much if you just tell them, like, we want a half a cow, a quarter of a cow, 3/4 of a cow, and we want as much ground beef as possible. That's like a butcher's dream. It's like, so whoever you end up interfacing with, if it's the owner or the butcher, if you're just like, I just want as much ground beef as possible, and then the rest, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like, they're happy to turn as much of it into ground beef as possible. Just simplifies everything, and we like it. It's more versatile. We just mostly eat that.
Totally. Love it. Okay, number 4?
Number 4, I put protein powders and or protein bars. I mostly try to eat like real whole foods, and I realize technically protein powder is processed, but I don't care. Maybe someday I'll have a different conviction on this, but in the life we live now and in the amount of protein that I need/feel best at, it would be untenable right now to get it all from just whole food.
Yeah. And it's a goal, right? Like we've talked about that. Like
Yeah.
once we're raising our own pigs and cows,
Yeah.
then let's shoot for that. But right now, this is sort of the in between.
Yep.
And you found a brand that's grass fed.
Yeah, it's grass-fed, whey
yeah.
protein concentrate. You know, it's minimally processed, but
Right.
yeah, it still is what it is. But
Right.
there's times, and I put protein powder / protein bars because there's times where like today we had to take our oldest to the doctor, and we don't have any protein bars right now. I was like, I just 2 protein bars would have made this a much better experience. So instead, I made a bowl of oatmeal, but with protein powder in it. But for me, it's partially like resources. Like until we have our own milk cow, I'm not sure I'll be able to fully eliminate it or willing to fully eliminate it. Part of it's also like if you get 300 grams of protein from all real foods, that'll be a lot of calories.
That's
so you
true.
have to like modulate slightly. So
That's good.
for the time being,
For
just
sure.
being honest.
Cool. I love it. My number 4, I said avocado because that for me is kind of a daily healthy fat.
It's so much more sophisticated than mine.
I know.
Number 4, protein powder, avocado.
Well, yeah. No, but I think healthy fat, especially as a woman,
Yeah.
as a breastfeeding mom,
Totally.
that's really good. And there's other ways to get healthy fats, but I find myself going for avocado pretty much every day, usually in the morning. But avocado has been, I feel like, a go-to for a while, and the kids love it, and it's just pretty, again, pretty versatile. So that's my number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Number 3, I put eggs. Eggs could go higher, but they're certainly in the top 5, certainly the top 3. I'm not sure. And I miss having our own chickens. When we moved into the RV, we rehomed all of our egg-laying chickens.
They're going to be tomorrow.
Our new chicks are arriving tomorrow, which those who have raised chickens before know that means we won't have eggs for 5 more months, basically.
We're on the pet.
And then it'll be winter, so they'll basically stop laying. So it's a long game, but having had chickens, now not having chickens, being so excited to have chickens again, but eggs, and I don't even know if eggs would be on my list if we didn't normally have our own chickens. I mean, I like them just because, but it was the experience of having our own chickens and just that ownership, that feeling of like, I know where these came from, that all of that.
Totally.
That would make them, maybe they'd still be top 5, but I don't know if they'd be top 3 if we didn't have that.
Yeah.
And even though we don't, that I think fueled my love for eggs almost more than anything else.
I like that. That's good. Well, my number 3 was your number 5.
5.
So, yeah, steel cut oats, but I
Yeah.
said with peanut butter
With peanut butter.
specifically.
I know, my oatmeal always
Yours-
has peanut butter
I
on
know,
it.
we always do the peanut butter,
Yeah.
and I have other things. I mean, we go kind of hard with oatmeal here. Steel cut for sure, because, and I'm going to say why, because rolled oats are more processed. So the steel cut
Yeah.
version is a less processed grain, and so it sounds kind of highfalutin to say that, but when you actually consume it, I feel totally, like you said, totally different. The rolled oats in my belly
Yeah.
feel totally different than the steel cut. And like you said, especially when we soak them. But lately, yeah, we're out.
Yeah.
One thing that I have learned with oats, I'm just saying this as a like general, but if you can find them, organic is great because oats are one of the highest like glyphosate sprayed ingredients in the country, which is just crazy. So if you can, again, buy in bulk, and then get the organic kind if you can, and it's worth it just to get that, avoid those pesticides. But yeah, steel cut oats with peanut butter. I do maple syrup, I do chia seeds, I do blueberries, cinnamon, sometimes hemp hearts. We go really hard. A little butter. Oh my gosh. So I'm getting hungry. I'm excited for tomorrow already. So that's my number 3. And it's a healthy carb for me.
Yeah.
So.
And I usually put protein powder in mine these days.
Yeah.
And again, one of the recurring themes of this list is you try different things and you figure out what makes you feel amazing. It is. I'll say it this way. You can say it a different way. A child chooses things based on how they taste. An adult chooses things based on how they make them feel.
That's good, yeah.
And so I poke fun at certain loved ones because they eat things that are like, well, I like the way it tastes. Yeah, but how do you feel? Well, I usually like garbage. Okay, so you're being a child. If you try different things and you realize, I don't actually feel that great if I eat just steel-cut oats. But if I add protein powder in, I feel amazing. So that's like a much more reliable guiding light for an adult.
And that's a good theme too, to just be taking stock of the things you're consuming and notice. And again, we live in such a busy world and society that it can be hard because you're just like eating on the go. But I know one of the best things we can do for our bodies is just to become more aware, to slow down when we eat. I mean, I don't do this perfectly with little kids, and sometimes they'll miss cold before I can even eat it. But, again, it's taking notice of how it makes your body feel. Yeah.
And especially in the season of transition, we were in survival mode, basically. And so
for sure,
a lot of this stuff. And there's even a few things that have still not been reincorporated.
Yeah.
We still haven't figured out how to get back doing smoothies yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, it's on the list.
Electricity, so
Just got electricity, okay? So
here we are.
our Vitamix is in storage.
Yeah. Okay.
We're working on it.
I know. Okay, cool. What's your number 2?
Blueberries.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited to have blueberry plants on this property, but frozen blueberries.
Yeah. We do mostly frozen ones.
Yeah. And I think if I had to choose, I don't want to have to choose, but if I had to choose, it would be frozen blueberries. But yeah, ever since we went to that place where we picked them, and then we've processed and froze them ourselves, and then stored them in our chest freezer back in Portland, Oregon. Ever since then, it's just been my favorite.
Totally.
One of my favorite foods, absolutely my favorite fruit.
Yeah.
Blueberries, frozen blueberries. I could eat
so good.
So many.
And they're so, the antioxidants are super high in there. So they're like a really
good source of fiber.
Great food. Yeah, that's good. I know. I encompassed blueberries in my oatmeal bowl for number 3, so I resonate with that. Yeah. Okay, I said number 2 for mine was yogurt. And this has been I feel like this is a more recent one, and I feel like I got it from you. So this has helped a lot because at night we used to be super obsessed about doing popcorn, and we love it. But then I've had 3 separate experiences, 2 in pregnancy and 1 just recently, where my body has literally rejected the popcorn, and I think we were like, it's time to be done, which is really sad. I'm grieved that a little bit, but that was like a go-to end of the night or end of the day, let's celebrate, relax, have a bowl of popcorn. And then when we had to stop doing that, I found that I really enjoyed, again, having yogurt and blueberries. And I have done with protein powder, vanilla protein powder. It makes it taste like ice cream, so that's been really fun. And then it's like a relatively healthy, sweet, kind of, and it's filling enough for me that I'm really satisfied. If I haven't eaten enough dinner, I get that protein, the probiotics. So we get the Faye from Costco, 2% in the 3-pound tub.
Biggest size there is.
I think how many is the most yogurts I've gotten there? 12 at a time. It's 36 pounds of yogurt. I think that's
12 containers?
Yeah. Is that the most I've ever gotten?
No, we've gotten 24 for sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And then they think that we're running a daycare or something because there's so much yogurt in our car.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, so that's my number 2, which leads into...
My number 1 is yogurt.
Haha.
Yeah. And it is worth double clicking on Greek yogurt in general. Any type of strained yogurt that makes it super thick. I know there's other types than Greek yogurt, but that's probably the most common. And I'm Greek yogurt, Faye. I like the 5%, but they don't have it in the big size at Costco.
That's true.
So the 2% is our go-to. I've either gotten so used to it, or maybe I just like it more. But when I have had the 5%, I actually prefer the 2% now. But I'm not opposed to it. It's just that's the size it comes in. But one of those containers does last a day at our house. So,
I know.
Which is why
everybody loves it.
If we try to go to Costco once a month, then we're getting 24 containers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, and I do put blueberries on the yogurt, sometimes mix the vanilla protein powder in, sometimes chia seeds.
Yeah.
Again, it's just like, but a bowl of that yogurt with some protein powder in there.
Yeah. It is a really, I mean, again, I said it tastes like ice cream, especially with the protein powder, but it's a really healthy substitute. I mean, you've recommended it to people in your family that were trying to wean themselves off of like nighttime ice cream habit, and it worked, you know, which is really cool and encouraging. So if you're kind of struggling with that, and obviously it's not going to be a 1-to-1 swap, but that's been really helpful for me for sure.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. Depending on the protein powder you use, it definitely is not going to taste literally exactly the same. But this is a great little microcosm of the, okay, have your ice cream. How do you feel?
Yeah, for sure.
Gross. Okay, have this. Does it taste exactly the same? No, but just eat it, try it. Okay, how do you feel? Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, your body will learn how to prefer the things that make you feel amazing if you give it the chance.
That's a good point. Yeah,
So,
for sure.
It's one of those things where, like, the very first bite, you're like, this doesn't taste like ice cream. No, I know. But just try it a few times and then check out how you feel. And your body will connect that new loop of
that's good.
well, at first I didn't like this flavor as much, but I love the way I feel. So now I do like that flavor. And it completes the loop for you. Your body's very good at relearning how to prefer things that's good for it.
Our bodies are amazing. They really are.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Okay, number one. My number one was eggs. So we're pretty close. Just to echo again what you were saying, raising our own eggs, I think was a game changer. And then I do kind of in the mornings, I didn't say this, but we kind of end up almost doing like 2 breakfasts here where we'll do eggs and like a sausage or a protein for the kids and then the oatmeal. And usually, again, it's when I'm eating both that I feel best, and they're like spaced apart, so it's almost like we're doing, you know, a first breakfast, a second breakfast, and then like a smaller lunch. I'm not like a big lunch person, but I love having, usually it's just scrambled eggs and the avocado and kale and sometimes, I mean, it's literally just salt and pepper, but eggs are so simple and they make you feel so good, and they also have some of those just vital nutrients that you can't get anywhere else almost, including selenium. That I don't even know why, but it's super important. And it's only in like a handful of foods, and they say eggs have one of the highest amounts of selenium. Do you remember what that does?
I don't think it's selenium.
I think it is.
I thought
Brazil
it
nuts
was
have that, but I think it's
eggs have selenium.
Yeah, they do.
There's something else though that eggs are high.
Yeah, they're high in a lot of
the
things.
C.
But...
I can't remember what it.
Well,
I can't remember, but it's if it's selenium's hard to come by, and it's super essential. Obviously,
somebody fact check us.
Yeah,
here.
you don't. You can eat too much of it, but it's pretty hard to eat too much of it unless you're eating handfuls of Brazil nuts.
Yeah.
But there was something else though in eggs that was.
Well, they're good, high protein, not super high fat. I mean, good amount of fat. But I just love our doctor.
Yeah.
Literally, will always say, eggs are the perfect food. You know, when you think about the fact that they're a little life in a shell.
Yeah.
They
have all the nutrients necessary for life. That's literally what they are.
Yeah. So eat eggs, and again, if you can go to pasture raised, you know, that is going to be the best. So those are our top 5s.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So key ideas for me: choose foods based on what makes you feel amazing, and your body will learn to prefer the flavor. But if you just choose things based on flavor, at least the way that I like to talk to myself, that's the way a child thinks. As an adult, choosing things based on how they make me feel is much more of an adult way of thinking about it. Main idea number 2, keep it simple, keep it consistent. Because that's actually freeing. And again, if that doesn't sound freeing, I get it, but try it. Because it is freeing. Even if it doesn't sound freeing, it is freeing. And number 3, variety is the spice of life. So we have different things every day. But most of the variety in my diet comes from whatever you make for dinner. Yeah. That's like where the variety comes. But variety is the spice of life. Variety is not the main dish.
Yeah, exactly.
So a little bit of variety goes a long way. But even like something like eggs, you can make eggs 1,000 different ways.
For sure.
So even if we say eggs, that's not really that, restrictive and consistent.
Yeah. Cool. Well, if you have any questions or thoughts, we'd love to hear them. And hopefully, again, this was a helpful episode. It was fun. I enjoyed that.
Let's go have some yogurt.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of the Homesteader Life Podcast.
I hope you found this useful and helpful. And if you like this kind of stuff, please like and subscribe. And you can like and subscribe, and you can follow on Apple and Spotify and YouTube, and leave us up to a 5-star review.
We hope to see you again soon, and thank you so much for joining us as we seek to live a more homesteaded life.